Alright, so for our Page of Coins, we get the Faith card in the reverse position, which is also known as the Hierophant. So perhaps you guys are considering doing some schooling in an unconventional type of way. So, maybe some of you may be taking some courses, say, online. Perhaps some of you are interested in a job or in a way of earning money that is unconventional, non-traditional, something that would be different. It's like being the little drummer boy and, we're playing our own tune. We're going our own path. So, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So, again, for most of you, this is going to indicate that you're perhaps going about things in an unconventional way, maybe how you're earning money or the way in which you're receiving some higher education. Perhaps maybe some of you have a child that you could be dealing with that may be acting a bit unconventional or doing things in an unconventional way. But for my general feeling here, this sticks with you guys, considering this card represents Aries, suns, moons, and rising signs. So I feel like you guys will be doing things in an unconventional way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the Faith card / Hierophant in the reverse position is about not, we're not being willing to conform. We're not going to do what everybody else does just because everybody else is doing it. So I like that card in the reverse position because, I'm not going to be a lemming. I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing just because it's the popular, trendy thing to do, Be different. Be yourself. Okay, so we had our star card for our circumstances, and it is clarified by the 10 of coins. So this is a very good card. This is a card of wealth. This isn't a card of, money. This is a card of wealth. So to me, this seems like a lot of you are focused on establishing wealth. Perhaps you have a dream. Perhaps you have a wish, Maybe some of you are trying to start your own business. Maybe some of you already have, Maybe some of you are working your dream job, or you're wanting to work your dream job. But the overall focus here is you're wanting to build that wealth, the type of wealth that can be handed down, from generation to generation. And this can also indicate that perhaps some of you may be wanting a job or have landed a job like, in a big business, like corporations, things of that nature, that, this would be a type of job that would be very stable, very solid, very stable. So that is positive. Now, for our Queen of Coins, I got the Queen of Coins again. So I'm like, let's clarify that again because 2 Queen of Coins. Yeah. So, as I was saying before, perhaps someone could be in your life that is assisting you, coaching you on how to obtain wealth, how to obtain, material items. Perhaps someone in your life is giving you financial advice. Perhaps some of you guys are channeling this energy, or you could be dealing with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn type of person in your life. And we clarify, we get the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. So this can indicate it's just like things are a hot mess. This can be taking place, at your job, in the workplace. This could be taking place at home. It could be taking place, in both places. And it's like things are just awry. It's just a hot mess. It's like nothing seems to be going the right way. It's just problem after problem. And a lot of times this can indicate personal conflict, so conflict within yourself. And sometimes our inner, can be reflected in our outer world. So this could be a personal conflict going on within you. This could be an actual, conflict with someone else. But if it's with someone else, then this could stem from a lack of confidence. Perhaps some of you feel like you won't be able to manifest, your material dreams, your financial goals. Maybe you guys are just lacking confidence and belief in yourself that you can do it. This can also indicate jealousy. Yeah. Not the best card, but it is what it is. Okay, so this was the card of your recent past or the energy that is currently passing. We had the Seven of Coins in the reverse position, which is about taking a gamble that does not pay off, an investment that is, not an investment you really want to make. And then it's clarified by the Magician in the reverse position again. So, perhaps some of you did invest. It could have been in an actual investment. It could have been maybe you guys were feeling lucky and you went and blew too much money at a casino gambling. Maybe some of you took a gamble, in your career or even in your home life. It could go either way. And things just didn't work out. And sometimes, the Magician in the reverse position can indicate that things were just not, they just weren't developing correctly. It's like it was out of sync or something. And again, this is also about not using our abilities to the best of our, ability. Or maybe you just don't realize that you do have some of your own abilities. Maybe they're hidden. And this can also be a lack of enthusiasm and a lack of follow through. Perhaps maybe a few of you, had something, whether it be a job or an investment or a gamble that you made on something in general, and maybe you fell back upon wishful thinking. Maybe you didn't put the actual hard work in, and so it causes it to fail. Maybe you just did as little as possible work to get by, and then that's, that can cause failure. But overall, this can be a lack of belief in yourself as well, lack of self-confidence. So I'm definitely seeing a lot of cards that are speaking of, not having enough confidence in the self. So you guys really need to believe in yourself. Okay, so we had our present, the here, the now energy card, Page of Wands in the reverse position. So this is about us waiting on messages. They could be about, creative projects, or these could be about, an actual job. And either the messages are delayed, not received, or it's disappointing news. And it's clarified by the Fool. So the Fool would be saying, it's time for a new start. And so now I can see the invisible thread, so to speak, that's working through this whole entire reading. Because we have the Page of Wands over here underneath the Death card. And so that's definitely indicating that whatever this is that you guys have been trying to make work, whatever you've been waiting on and it just didn't come through, or disappointing news came through, you guys just really need to let it go. Move forward and take this new start. Take this new start. This card, it clears the slate. It gives us a chance for a new beginning. So take that new beginning. I know that whatever this could be to you, it may not be so easy to let go of. And that's okay. But you are being blessed with an opportunity to move forward and have a new start with a clean slate. And you can go in any direction you like. So there is a silver lining in that cloud. That's a blessing. Maybe a blessing in disguise, but it's still there nonetheless. So for the near future, we had the Magician in the reverse position, and it is clarified by the Hermit. So with the Hermit, most of the time, I consider this card the wise one. This is about us going within and listening to our own gut feeling, listening to our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is very wise, and you really need to listen to that advice. And perhaps some of you will soon receive advice. This could be advice that comes from someone else, and it would be good advice that you want to take and that you want to listen to. You really want to take it into consideration. Maybe for some of you, what you've been trying to make work, maybe your heart's just not really in it and you need to listen to yourself. Maybe it doesn't truly fulfill you and make you feel passionate. And if that's the case, let it go. Don't let it hold you back, because you want to go after the things that make you happy, the things that you're passionate about. Because then following through is a whole lot easier if we really love what we're going after and if we're truly passionate about it. That makes it so much easier. Okay, so we had our attitude card, the Nine of Wands. This is prepared to handle any and all adversity and even hostility from others. And it is clarified by the Three of Coins. So perhaps some of you may feel like you're having to defend yourself, perhaps at a job, maybe on a project. If it's a project, it would be one that would be teamwork. Teamwork would be involved. But it's also about learning a skill. But the Three of Coins is about you can receive recognition, but it would be team recognition as opposed to personal recognition. And for some of you, maybe some of you just simply feel like you're having to defend yourself at work or, with a particular team of people. Maybe you feel like you're having to defend yourself. This could be a club or an organization as well. Maybe you just feel like you have to defend yourself. And, you might have very good reasons for having to defend yourself. But the Three of Coins is also about learning a skill. Some of you may desire to learn a new skill. Some of you may already have a particular skill set, but maybe some of you desire to learn a whole new set of skills. But no matter what comes your way, you guys are strong enough. You have much inner strength, so you can handle anything that comes your way. And oddly enough, this is the Mars in Capricorn card, which Mars is currently in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so this is how other people would see you. And this was our upset. Someone could have broke your heart. Someone could have hurt your feelings. Someone may owe you an apology. You might owe someone an apology. And it is clarified by the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, this man is very analytical. And he definitely takes both sides, say for instance, both people's sides. He takes them into consideration. He weighs them out, the pros and the cons. He takes his time in making a decision because he is weighing everything out, because he's going to come to a very fair decision. because he takes his time, he uses his logic and his good reasoning abilities, and he weighs everything, the pros and the cons of each person's story, or whatever it may be. For some of you, this potential heartbreak could have come from, say, an Aquarius, or this could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Or it could be just the overall energy of saying, you need to just weigh the issues out. Look at your side, look at the other person's side, weigh things out, and if you know you owe someone an apology, just go ahead and give it, Maybe someone else owes you an apology. Maybe they're weighing things out. Okay, so this was the hopes and fears position. We had 7 of Cups, which is our emotional choices wish card, and is clarified by the 8 of Coins. So it would seem that you guys are definitely focused on money and about work, or work projects, things of that nature. The 8 of Coins is about having a skill set that brings us financial rewards, and it brings us recognition, and practice makes perfect. This is like the 3 of Coins that was right here, and they graduate to the 8 of Coins, where they are now a master, and they are still, even though they have come so far, they are still continuing to do their work. They're still using their skills, their talents, their abilities, because they're trying to continue to perfect them. The more you use them, the more you make them better. So this definitely has a lot of financial tones to it, for certain. Okay, we had our final outcome card, which was the Page of Cups in the reverse position. So, some of you could be waiting on a message. Maybe some plans that you really had your heart set on got postponed. Perhaps some of you received some disappointing news. Perhaps a relationship didn't work out. Could be many different things. But, overall, moody and detached. This is the biggest thing, is moody and detached. You don't want to necessarily communicate. But you really need to communicate, because if you don't communicate, then there'll be a tendency to overreact to a situation. And situations will come up. And these situations are going to require you to be calm and emotionally balanced. And if you're being moody and you're not communicating your emotions and you're allowing them to, be bottled up, you won't be able to maintain being calm. So you definitely want to be introspective, So we clarify, we have the 4 of Cups. So this card in general to me is about boredom and just general dissatisfaction with your particular lot in life right now. And, this could be many different things, Perhaps something didn't work out. Could have been a relationship. Could have been, a job. Could have been a friendship. It could have been just about anything here. But overall, there is a dissatisfaction with where you are, and you're just kind of fed up. But there's also a deeply introspective part of this card where we tend to focus on the self, where we have withdrawn, and we are focusing on ourself and our problems and things of that nature. And if you see how this man is, he's definitely, his body language is indicating that he is being very leery. He's mistrustful. He's looking up at this cup of wine. He's like, yeah, that cup of wine does look good, because my 3 cups down here are empty. But I just don't know if I can trust. I don't know if I want to trust to reach up and grab that. Is it worth it? Because I've been hurt. I'm not sure if I trust it. Now, the cup represents an opportunity. Now, sometimes this opportunity can be a fantastic opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity can be literally a cup of bullshit, okay? Excuse my French, but it can go either way. But overall, you want to try to pull yourself out of that deep detachment, and it's okay to do some self reflection and introspection. That's great. But don't get lost in it, okay? Because an opportunity will be presented to you if you're paying attention. If you're too focused on the self and you're still withdrawing and keeping yourself from everyone else, well, then the opportunity could pass you by and you won't even know because you were withdrawn. So it's okay to be self-reflective and being introspective, but don't let it make you be a hermit, okay? Don't take it too far, because an opportunity will come your way. And you want to be ready for it. It could be a good opportunity. It may be a not so great opportunity, but hey, you might as well be ready and alert for it, okay? Because for some of you, it will be a good opportunity.